1, 2, 3.
Bigfoot's gonna come and take me. I didn't see you there. On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, we'll be doing a mini garden tour. Welcome back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Quiet on the set. Of course the neighbors have to be doing crazy shit right now. Welcome back, my little spoons. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As you can see, we are not inside the Free Unsolicited Cooking kitchen today. We are actually in what I consider the backbone of the Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge show, and that is my garden. It won't be as in-depth as my last year's garden tour, but I kind of wanted to show you the different things I ended up planting this year as I'm expanding for the show. And then some same things I've planted that somehow we're failing, and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. But I kind of wanted to show my new subscribers the other things that I have going on the farm here. Just like my last episode, I always wear long pants and long sleeves because ticks and the UV rays are deadly out here. And for my longtime followers, I still have the same boots, okay? We're going on year 19 now. Ariat, sponsor me, please. Please? Anyway, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. Before I get into what I planted this year, I just want to quickly say that I do have help doing this garden. I work, Cody works, but my dad is retired. You know, it keeps my dad busy. My dad has been the one who has really taught me how to grow a garden, essentially, and I still don't know half the stuff that he does. I'm learning every year something new. So the garden started last November, and the thing is, farmers really rely on each other for different aspects of farmland. So next door, that side, our neighbor is a racehorse owner, and he has many horses, and we went and we got a bunch of manure. So basically it started in November, got the manure, set it in a pile. So then springtime came, we tilled the land, we created the trenches, and then according to Cody, who thinks, you know, it was the worst day of his life, we filled the trenches with that horse manure. It adds a lot of nutrients. The more you plant on the land, the more it gets deprived of these nutrients. And most farmers will split land, like they'll plant this side, and then next year, or every 5 years, then they'll move to that land and let the land literally replenish. But for some reason, my dad doesn't like working back there. That's part of my long-term plan, is to expand the garden. Anyway, it started last year, and then we created a nursery of all the little plants. And then when it came time, we started hand planting. Yes, we hand planted all these plants, by the way. This row here, I was not a part of. Dad loves his YouTube. He's really into YouTube, like farming videos, and somehow he ended up on the East Coast side of farming, and he really wanted to plant potatoes. Also, he's a huge fan of mashed potatoes. Patan, as he says. These are some potato plants, like right here. I don't blame him. De-weeding is like hell in this place, but there's a mix of weeds and potatoes. So I have no idea when that will be harvested, but it should be interesting. I had nothing to do with that project, but I'm excited if it is successful and we get the potatoes. So we have romaine lettuce, beautiful. Some of them are going to seed. Romaine Catholics? Get out! We harvested these two last night for dinner. The thing about romaine lettuce that I've been having issues with is that they're still soft. I don't find that it's like a crisp lettuce leaf. Deer got to them, the early ones, but hey, it's a ecosystem out here. I'm not mad at them. So yeah, there's the romaine lettuce. Andiamo, as Dad says. The next part of the garden, we have a couple of cucumber plants, which are freaking pathetic this year. I don't know what is going on. What?
What's the deal with the cucumber?
Get out! I need to hire a team. I really can't deal with this. Anyway, my cucumber plants, sad. We had planted a few here. This is probably my fault. I bet you these are the plants I broke off mid-planting. Remember, Dad got mad at me? I went to go pull it out of the little thing, the little tray, and it just ripped. And Dad was like, and then I planted them, and I guess they never took. Sorry. And then we have melons down there, watermelon, and I think cantaloupe. They're doing okay. We got little ones, you know. Then we have some corn. Is that what Dad says? La corn. So we don't usually plant corn. My dad was very adamant about planting corn this year. I'm not sure, he doesn't even eat it. It's gonna be interesting. They're coming in great, but let me tell you something. The farm across the street, their corn is literally like 5 feet tall right now. I don't think we planted it too late. So we'll see what we can harvest this year. I'd have very low hopes. I feel like we've planted corn before and it just didn't work out. Here's to hoping, because I love corn. So these are the Portuguese hot peppers, AKA Lazarette. They're very small. They were having issues taking this year. I don't know why. Anyway, moving on, beans. Dad planted beans and he refuses to let me put stakes in the ground. They seem healthy, so there's that. Oh yeah, we have more Lazarette. And then, oh yeah. So here we have 2 eggplants. I have other eggplants that are doing phenomenal compared to these. So this might be a late season as well. Again, more chili peppers because they were slow this year. And also I feel like the mice ate some in the greenhouse. That was the whole thing. Now this next part is heartbreaking and I don't understand what the heck is going on. Okay. My zucchini have like, I don't know. I feel like they're getting sun bleached. I feel like because it's been raining in the morning and then the sun comes out in the afternoon, the rain on the leaves burn the leaves. And I think this is what's happening here. Like I'll show you the greenhouse ones, which are like, should be in the Guinness World Records. They're beautiful. I don't know what's going on with these bad boys. We got 3 zucchinis, 4 zucchinis. It's like, it's kind of sad. Life as a farmer. Maybe I'm just getting too excited about the season. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna circle around and it's gonna be great, right? Positive vibes. All right, and this entire row are sweet peppers and the plants are small, but like, Lord, there's some big peppers on some of the plants already to harvest, which is crazy. At least I think they're sweet peppers. If not, they're called shepherd peppers. They're just longer, all right? But yeah, a row of peppers. This is the main part of our garden because every year we do like 200 jars of tomato sauce for the winter season. Yes, we do go through them. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows of tomato plants, 600 tomato plants. We have a few different kinds. We have vine tomatoes, we have Roma tomatoes, and then Dad just calls them round, but they're beefsteak, let's be real. But we do have a lot more of the Roma tomatoes. I find the Roma tomatoes are what makes tomato sauce a chef kiss. Is that a shotgun shell? It's always an adventure in this garden. All right, well, I'm gonna throw that to collect, to throw in the garbage. Okay, those are the tomatoes, and I forget what we planted on the end, to be honest. Let's go see, let's go check it out. Yeah, I remember what I planted, and I gave up on the dream. My pumpkins and squash. They're just sad. This is the only one that's big, and nothing's on it yet, obviously. There are a few flowers. I might have to come back and de-weed just to ensure that they're getting bigger, but hopefully this pumpkin plant gives me some jack-o'-lanterns. And I planted some pumpkin pie, the smaller pumpkins, and then I have somewhere along there my butternut squash from a butternut squash soup. But yeah, this is kind of the end of the garden here, and I'm gonna show you what I have in my garden boxes. All right, we are back to the garden boxes or the graves. Okay, so to the left of me, I decided to do dill cucumbers. I find that the smaller cucumbers versus English, not only do you have a faster turnaround because they're small and they don't take as much energy to grow each one, I just find them sweeter and juicier and less seeds, and it's better for a longer season in my opinion. So I did an entire garden box here, and then I have 4 cubanelles somewhere in there. Oh my God, and a tomato plant. The cubanelles look like they're being choked, but they're not. There are peppers growing on them. So I did cucumbers, I have my eggplants, and I have, again, sweet peppers. And the reason why I put them in the garden boxes is because when it rains heavily, you cannot walk in that back garden, you will get stuck, and you know, you may be a missing person, you know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the next 2. So here we have my Roma tomatoes. I did not prune them. Clearly I was busy working and doing other things, so they're a little out of hand. They will still produce a lot of tomatoes. Maybe I'll prune them down the line. I have a lot of flowers, so we're on the right track. And here I have my hot peppers. Now with this, it looks messy. These are weeds, ignore those. But last year I turned over what was left of like my habaneros, and the seeds were left in the dirt, and now they have grown back. So I went from 4 habanero plants. I didn't even want 4, I just wanted 2 for my hot sauce, and now I have an entire half a garden box of habanero plants. Of course the neighbor is cutting his grass right now. I said quiet on the set. Oh, he looked. But yeah, so we're gonna have excess of that. Also, speaking of excess, these garden boxes are kind of a little project I started last year. I had a lot of excess produce and I basically collected, and once we, like, you know, can only eat so much, but I ended up collecting what was left of the harvest, bushels. I mean, like, I had bushels of eggplants, bushels of tomatoes, and I ended up donating it to our local food bank, and there they distribute it amongst people who are vulnerable and don't have the means to purchase fresh produce on their own, or it's just not in their budget for certain things. Going into this year, I kept it in mind, and it's something that I want to continue. So once we start getting produce and stuff, I do want to make it a point to donate weekly to the food bank, and donating more than just tomatoes and cucumbers. I know that just because you're vulnerable doesn't mean that you don't like flavor and like to cook. So I love to donate the hot peppers. That was like a huge surprise that they were actually really happy about last year. And I have a lot of herbs and stuff that I planted a little more this year, and different varieties of stuff that maybe I won't be cooking a lot with, but going into, you know, the holidays, I kept that in mind for people who wanted, you know, a little extra in life, because even at the grocery store, hot peppers and herbs are so expensive, and it is just not accessible as an extra these days for some people. That was another reason I wanted to kind of plant a different variety of things, and moving forward, I wish to expand my garden so I can be able to donate more. I think as a community, we should all learn to grow and share with each other. I'm excited to help out, and I hope that we have a good harvest this year and I can do my part in this community moving forward anyway. So yeah, hot peppers, tomatoes. Let's go to the next two. In here we have the Sweet Millions tomatoes. If you look back at my bruschetta episode, this is what I plant. These are so big. They're getting a little unruly, but I see a ton of tiny little tomatoes. It's gonna be a good harvest, and these specifically I'm really looking forward to donating because they're a great little snack, right? Like, you don't have to cook with them. This is my herb garden. My parsley is doing phenomenal as always. Like, I never have issues with parsley. This year I planted rosemary. I have 2 sage plants as well in here. My basil, my outdoor basil this year, like, look at, it's dry, it's breaking, like, and I think it's just from like the rain hitting it, then the sun coming out. It's just awful. They're growing, but I'm hoping like it sheds this round and then we get some like stronger big leaves. Anyway, I'll just show you some quick peek at some things in the greenhouse. Let's go. All right, we're in the greenhouse, and these are some plants that I'm very proud of. So my zucchini plants are doing amazing. Like, as you can tell, they're super healthy. Like, the flowers are starting to come in. Oh yeah. No, you want to know what's bigger than my hands? Look at these. Look at these basils. Look at that plant. Look at. That's huge. Like, just beautiful. My project peach trees are still growing. My dad and I did want to plant them in the field, but that's going to be, they're not strong enough. Like, they'll break in the wind. We may have to transplant them into a bigger bucket so that the roots can strengthen. The grapes are in. We have the fig tree over here. Same thing as last year, but this is kind of one I wanted to show everyone. Just beautiful. Look at that. Just want to put that on a sandwich. This is kind of my exciting little portion. I just wanted to show off these beautiful, beautiful grapes. They're so pretty. I might come back and harvest these. I don't have my basket. Also, we have some figs. I don't know if these are, oh, that one popped open, so I'm gonna have to pick that. As you can see, just beautiful. You can't beat that until that. They're figgin' delicious. Get out! Anyway, I do want to learn how to sun dry those properly. That's another project. I can't remember if my sister said they're sour. There's a seed. Those are good. This is the dream, I tell you, and practice gratitude daily. I love it. We, again, have tomatoes in here, peppers. We have beets down there. That's it for the greenhouse. This has been my dream, and I love it, and it's getting better and better every year, and soon to be bigger and bigger every year. Are you gonna say hi to the camera? Nikita's still kicking. She is such a good girl. We started her on the monthly shots of Librela, and it helps her with pain, and all she wants to do is go for a very long walk. We have to be very careful with how far she goes. As you can see, her hips are kind of weak. Come here. But again, if she's off leash, she'll just wander into the abyss. She is 15 and a half years old. Okay, she wants to go to you, Daddy. But for a purebred, she's doing pretty good, and those shots are life-saving. So if you do have a senior dog and you're finding them having a really bad joint issues, the Librela is a very good option. At a point, she couldn't get up off her bed, and now she's like slow, but she does it, and as you can tell, she still pulls me around the yard. I feel bad she looks mangy, but she's an old gal, and if she doesn't want to be brushed, I'm not gonna force it on her. Of course, if there's mats, I will make sure to take care of those, but she doesn't usually have them, so yeah, we'll go for a walk. Okay. Thank you, my little spoons, for joining me on this mini garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I inspired you to start growing for yourself and maybe even for your community. This is kind of just how I do it right now. I have huge dreams for this garden and it's already perfect. Anything I add is just extra. Don't forget to subscribe. Make my dreams continue. Whether I was filming this or not, this is the life I would still be leading. And I really appreciate you literally growing alongside with me. It's been fun and very hard. Seeing the garden in this way is very glorified, but we literally, it's like, it is work, the daily watering, the cultivating every couple of days, plus with like yard work and everything else that goes along with taking care of our property. I absolutely love it. This may not be the life for everyone. I've kind of converted Cody into a farmer, the city boy farmer life. This is basically my dreams coming true and I wouldn't change it for anything. And I hope that you stay along the journey with me and we can see what this garden truly grows into, you know? Don't know what else to say. But thank you, and you know what? F*** farming. See ya.